Okay, chat can be difficult when we've done a stream and then we've stopped and then we're doing another one. So we may very well be here for like half an hour trying to figure this out. It will. I will get the hang of doing this quickly one day. I don't think we're ever going to see that day, but Chapter 2 is when we find out what happened at the place. The horse track thing. Place. What's it? Let me finish setting everything up. Do we have chat? We do have chat. Did Sasha Dewan do anything wrong this time? Oh, Sasha Dewan, he did nothing wrong. Oh my god. Is that gonna show? We've refreshed everything now. It's not showing, is it? Oh my god. Okay, well. I have questions that I did note down and remember. So far, it seems YouTube has still not forgiven Sasha Dewan. What did he do, though? That it didn't show. My god. Okay, well, so... No, oh, wait, no, hang on. No, that is right. Bear with. Sorry. I'm trying to save each chapter in a different slot. But that's fine, because we go from here and then we save this in a different chapter. Anyway, I have questions. It's the second thing I typed after Iwu. I have 3 questions. 4 questions, actually. 1, do we know how long Angela has been doing this? Was she definitely doing it before we visited, or did we give her the in to do it? Do we know that? So this stuff was happening first. So it's not our fault, is what I'm getting at. It's not us, we didn't do it. She was the cause of the accident in the first place. Of course she was. Okay, that's me not remembering things. So that might tie into another question then. The second question was, I completely missed the first time. I remember during the argument at the end that Dr. Stiles mentions how she tracked down his mother's necklace. And I remember thinking, when did that happen? But yeah, in the first chapter, it's revealed that she found at least like a very identical necklace that his mum wore before she died, and he was like, oh, it must have gone to charity. Do we know how that happened? Because that feels very relevant. And I completely missed it the first time. It's a completely random thing, okay. Third question then is, who delivered this paper? Because Mrs. Dalton said... Mrs. Dalton said that it must have been a mistake because they never get the paper. So we can have it if we like. And this tells us what happened, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so we find out about this because of the paper, but they never get the paper, so it's strange to them that they've suddenly been delivered this paper. So yeah, so again, at the time, I didn't think anything about it, but now I'm thinking, so did she deliberately give us this paper so we see what happened? She's like giving us the information. That's exactly what I mean by this is completely a different story the second time around, because now we're seeing bits and pieces that connect now, and that we can make inferences for, that we obviously at the time we never would have thought, oh, I bet Angela gave us this, because why on earth would we? But now we're thinking that. Sam notes that it's like someone wants David to know about the incidents, and Angela is particularly motivated by proving her powers exist. Yeah, which, like, that wasn't the story that we knew the first time, until the very end. But now we're seeing it, and that's very... you weren't here, but I made a point as well of saying that her reaction to us telling her that we had premonitions when we were doing that magic trick, it was very interesting. And it's like she... Now, the way I'm interpreting that, first I thought, oh, that's quite like it's bewilderment, but now that kind of feels like, oh, she thinks that we have a similar strange ability like her. It's really interesting. I'm really glad we're doing this a second time. Second time. Anyway, the fourth question is obviously the most important, and it's what the bloody hell did Sasha Dewan do?
Horse path track? That's the track we imagined last night. How weird. This is not good. I need to look into this.
Because when she went to see him in his office, she was trying to tell him, and he thought it was a prank. So now she wants him to know about it. Yeah. That all makes sense now.
I need to look into this horse path track thing.
So we're going to horse path track next. We examine the patterns. Which I believe, obviously I was never going to see this the first time round, but I think, aren't these the patterns that were
Someone went to a lot of trouble.
Her dad's tie in the photo?
That's an elaborate pattern. Someone went to a lot of trouble.
I was obviously never going to notice that at the time, but I found that out after the fact. So all the pieces to connect her were always here.
10 to 1, he's not an Oxford student. Looks like a headbanger to me.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. I didn't. If she outright said so in the first playthrough, I did not notice. I had to see it for myself afterwards. Do you talk?
Hey.
Hey.
I heard something happened out here. Damn, that is freaky.
Yeah. You a student?
Me? Hell no.
Well, that's all right then. Oh. I'm sick and tired of those spooners trying to tell me I've lost my mind. They wasn't here, was they?
They always think they know everything.
And that's straight up. I'm Eddie.
I'm Sam.
So, yeah, tell me about last night. Also, I'm having a snack, but I'm gonna mute my microphone while I'm making food noises. Don't let me forget to turn it back on.
You were here when that happened then?
Yeah.
So what was it? A bunch of spooners messing about?
Yeah. You think you can handle the truth? Because no one else can.
Screw 'em, right? I've got an open mind.
All right. You ready? I was here, painting lines on the track. Every few months I gotta do it. Had my headphones on, you know? Rocking out.
Yeah?
All of a sudden, bam, like that. I'm in the middle of this wind. I'm in a huge cloud of dirt, right? It was moving too. The little pebbles and shit stinging me. It was like one of them cyclones or something.
No way.
Scared the crap out of me. See, I can't breathe, can I? So I legged it. Can't see nothing. Finally, I gets out of it, onto the grass.
A cloud of dust, like a dust storm?
Yeah. So then I looks back at the track. Them lines were there. Just like that, hey up. You want to know what I think?
Yeah, I do.
You heard of crop circles, right? Well, this was just like that crap. Only I saw it happen. I think it was aliens. I swear to God.
Time, wind, what do you say? What do you hear? Time.
What time did all this come down?
Maybe past? I came in at 11. It took me a bit to get the paint mixed and stuff.
How long was it from the time the wind hit you till you saw the lines?
Oh, smart, ain't you? That's the thing. Couldn't have taken me more than 5 minutes, maybe 10 max to get clear of it. And them lines was already painted when I look back. In all that dust too. Oh, you tell me how that's possible.
No way they could have been there before? It must have been pretty dark out.
You see them lights? Oh, have a look. I would have seen him.
Maybe you passed out for a while. You said you couldn't breathe.
Oh, you sound like Mr. Gerald, my boss, bloody wanker. Look, I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, I'm not God Almighty, am I? But that ain't the way I remember it.
Did you hear anything? Maybe the sound of a motor?
Nah, no. Anyway, I had my pod cranked.
Did you see anything else at all?
My eyes are all clogged from the dust. I don't know.
What? You did see something else, didn't you? Come on, Eddie. We're cool, right?
Look, I ain't said this to nobody, but there was something on the track.
What?
I saw the funnel still going round. This cloud of just chaos, right? Dust and pebbles and shit whirling around. Like something from a sci-fi movie. The thing is, it was following the track.
What do you mean, following the track?
I mean, I saw it turn the bleeding corner. Who ever heard of wind doing that?
Hey, Eddie. Thanks, man. You're pretty cool.
Yeah. Anytime. See you around.
See ya.
I'm clearly being paranoid, by the way.
I suppose Eddie could be right about the time. Magicians have been known to pull off big stunts in minutes, but not without a lot of planning and practice. Someone knew what they were doing. I'd better see what I can find out about the skilled magicians in this area.
I'm clearly being paranoid. But, this guy now also sounds a bit like Sacha Dhawan sometimes. So now we go to Oxford again. It's made clear in David's chapters that the haunting has been going on almost since the accident. Okay, so she was... Oh, that's what you mean by when I thought that there was going to be a really tragic thing where... Because David got the day off early, and I'm thinking, oh no, does that mean that if they'd have gone Friday instead of Thursday, then she'd still be alive? And then you were like, no, she was gonna die anyway. Because it was targeted. Where are we going? The flower seller.
She's selling wildflowers. Hi. I'll take a bunch of flowers.
God bless you, miss.
Now I've got a flower for you. Ready?
Ooh, ain't that lovely? Beautiful. Thank you, miss.
Don't stay out here too long, will you? You'll catch a cold.
Oh, God bless you.
Good day, Miss Everett.
Hi.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What can I do for you today, Miss Everett?
Mind if I ask a few questions?
The asker always reveals more than the one who answers. Ask away.
I know we finished the game, but I still don't trust... I know you're a red herring. And you were even more of a red herring with you being Roger Delgado, okay? But I still don't trust you. He's up to something. I don't know what it is, but he's up to something.
Are you a member of the Daedalus Club?
If I were a member, I'd be sworn by oath not to reveal the name of any member, and that would include myself. Do you know what the penalty is for breaking an oath?
No. What?
Having your eye plucked out.
I hope that's not the kind of trick you pull for the tourists.
It's pretty convincing with a bit of stage blood.
Grand game.
Is it true that every member of the Daedalus Club once pulled off a grand game?
Oh, yes. It doesn't matter who you know or how successful you might be. Even CIA code breakers have to create a game.
There are CIA code breakers in the Daedalus Club?
Certainly. It's about the game in all its forms, though magic and illusion play a large role, naturally.
Naturally. So, can you tell me more about what a grand game is exactly?
I suppose I might tell you about some of the famous games of the past, those that became so well known they can't really be considered secret anymore.
Is there a grand game in Oxford right now?
Do you think it's possible that someone could be running a grand game in Oxford? Right now?
Is it possible?
Well, not me.
Not me.
Angela was coming after them at that point, almost no matter what. Maybe if David had brushed her off, but she wasn't doing so well, so it may not have mattered in the long run. Yeah, I feel like if he'd have... I mean, first of all, I get not believing her, but also, I feel like probably if he had, at the very least, pretended to believe her and just went along with it. Which, you know... There's debate over how you should handle somebody who you believe to be having delusions. But, you know, maybe you should... You go along with it at first. But even if he had done that, she probably would have found another thing. You know, like you said, she wasn't doing so well anyway. If her being brushed off by him triggered all of this, then if that hadn't have happened, then something else would have probably sparked it anyway. Oh yeah, I know he thought she was messing with him. Yeah, obviously, he's not gonna... He's gonna think that she was messing with him, but I just meant that even if... I'm just looking at, like, any of the possibilities that could have happened, and what did happen was that he thought she was pranking him, and so... And also, did this happen after... Did this happen after, that rebuttal paper from the guy who is not a real Oxford professor because he said airplane and not aeroplane? Like, were people already being a bit weird about him at that point because of that paper that he published and then the other paper that the other person published and stuff? Because I especially would get that you'd just assume that somebody else is messing with you now. But no, I know he didn't think he didn't think that she was delusional. But there were like multiple options, and the option that happened was that he perfectly fairly assumed that she was messing with him. Oh yeah, the guy was planting students in David's lecture, so obviously he was going to assume that she was one of them. But I just meant that another option could have been that he believed her, and then that probably would have led to her being obsessed with him anyway, like you said. And then another option would have been that he didn't believe her but thought she was delusional, and so treated it that way, and therefore, went along with that first, at which point eventually it would come out that he didn't really believe her, and then that would have triggered it. Any outcome that I can imagine from that point on, from the point that she's at his desk saying these things to him, at any outcome of that, probably I can't imagine would have resulted better. Because being brushed off made her kind of obsessive. But then him helping her, if him dismissing her was enough to push her this far, then I feel like him helping her also would have been enough to push her this far. So I don't know if there are many ways that he could have approached it on his end, and I fully understand why he did it the way that he did at that point. It makes sense. I get it. I don't know if it would have ended up any better regardless of what he did.
You have my attention. Tell me about some of the famous grand games.
This is one of those things that I'm gonna go and edit, and I'm gonna actually make sense, because I didn't make any sense there at all. I feel like I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm trying to say. That moment is like at a crossroads, but I feel like most of the crossroads, the roads that he could have taken, would eventually have probably ended up to a similar place anyway.
Let's see. There was the successful TV illusionist. He was famous for making large things disappear.
You mean...
No names, please. As it happens, one of his most legendary stunts was to make the Statue of Liberty disappear from the New York harbor for 30 minutes.
I remember that.
It wasn't just for the TV cameras. That feat was a bid for entry to the Daedalus Club.
No way! Did he get in?
Remember the eye, my dear. Remember the eye.
I absolutely got the impression that... Did we learn that the dad died in a fire before we learned that Angela had these specific powers? Because I do remember thinking, oh, that's oddly similar. But I definitely got the implication that she killed her dad.
Tell me about another grand game.
And this one caused quite a scandal. Tiffany's in London had a window display of a ring called the Crensfield Star. The pink diamond in this ring was worth millions.
Yeah?
One day, the Tiffany's manager noticed that the ring was gone. The security guards remembered a well-dressed, frail old lady who had stopped to ask questions. Within hours, the theft was all over the news, and the police were searching the city. They kept getting strange tips about this little old lady, and were led on a merry chase. It was on the news all day, getting more and more bizarre.
But...
What is it?
did they really steal the ring?
My dear, do you think the Daedalus Club would accept a thief? Let me finish the story.
I don't know, probably.
In the end, the ring was found the next morning, in Scotland Yard, in the cup of coffee of the chief detective on the case.
Oh, that is awesome. With my luck, though, I'd end up in jail.
There's always risk in a great game. Managing it is the sign of a master, but it's not a stunt I would recommend to you. No.
Tell me about more famous grand games.
Any more grand games you can tell me about?
Just one more, I think. This was a game a potential member designed for his wife. She was a twin and had been separated from her sister when they were small. The man found the twin and plotted a way for the two women to meet. One of the sisters was an antique collector and the other worked for Sotheby's. He designed a beautiful game that had them both tracking down pieces of an ancient chess set until the quest brought them together. A lovely piece of work. And touching. Very delicately done.
I see what you mean. There are all kinds of games.
Perhaps someday you will invent yet another kind, Miss Everett. I look forward to it.
All of this makes me even more sad that we never got a follow-up, because it looked like the follow-up would be like a direct follow-up. They were supposed to go to the Orkney Islands, weren't they? And I assumed, from the little that we know, we assumed that that this would be, they were going to where she grew up and they were learning stuff that went on there, and part of it was, oh, these people aren't gonna like you, by the way. Like, some of these people are xenophobic. That was supposed to be the story, wasn't it? I'm so sad. I thought it was gonna be like a genetic thing. Yeah. I'm so sad we never got that. That would have been... Maybe one day. Yeah, maybe. Maybe one day we'll get the sequel to Grey Matter and we'll get the sequel to Lost Crown. Who knows? If we can all just, like, rediscover this game. Just all of us, all two of us, just never shut up about it. Make other people interested. This is entirely your fault. You dragged me here. I never used to go here. Buy the stuff from here. I'll know which stuff because it'll have a hand on it.
I was going to buy a few things today for my nephew. He's just starting out.
Your nephew has good taste. I still find those items useful myself. Take what you need and pay me on the way out.
Thanks.
Because they even had, like, concept things. They had the art of the two of them on a boat. I just want to see the two of them on a boat. I want to see David get out more. I want to see him doing well. It's very important to me that I see him okay and well and having a nice time. I mean, they wouldn't be having a nice time in this story, let's be honest, but... You know, he'd be out on a boat. I want to see him out on a boat, on a different kind of boat. Not one that Laura shows up and makes him sad. Is that everything?
I picked up a few things. I need to pay you before I go.
I know what you took. £12, please.
Neat trick, that one.
Merely a shopkeeper's necessity, Miss Everett. Enjoy your day.
Thanks, I will.
There are never any nice times when you're around. You're very mean to me. Go to St. Edmund Hall. St. Edmund Hall. For a meeting with the rest of the Lands Club, where you exchange phone numbers, all American, oddly enough, despite this being set in Oxford. I didn't
it's the head
notice
lab
that.
rat.
Don't call us that. Where have you been, Sam? We've been trying to find you for an hour. I checked in the lobby, and your name wasn't in the register.
Oh, damn. It's the Sam thing. They always have me listed as a boy.
I thought of that. There are no Everetts at St. Edmund Hall, and I thought you said...
After the divorce, I went to my mother's name. Then I changed my mind again. Why don't I just give you my cell phone number?
Cool, I'll take it. That will give me a grand total of 3 on my contact list.
555-7866.
557-2496.
Got that one. Got it. Did you get mine?
555-2234.
I don't have one. I don't get a lot of calls.
Yes, well, how can you, darling, when you don't have a phone?
Can we get back to the point? Did you read Ox Stew today? About what happened at the track? Maybe Styles has some kind of secret power generator hooked up to our brains. I mean, did you get a look at him? He's like a refugee from a Dark Shadows convention.
He is not. He is not.
You have to admit it's bizarre. And my legs are actually sore today. As if I really did run last night.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah, mine too.
Really? Let me see.
The truth is, we don't know what Styles is doing. He could be capable of anything. Unless you know Sam. You do know him well, right?
Yes, you got us all into this. You wouldn't have recruited us unless you trusted the man.
Of course. I've known Dr. Styles for, sheesh, a while now. I'm sure this whole thing is just a coincidence. But if it'll make you feel better, I'll do some checking around before we go back tonight.
Well, as long as you're volunteering. Try the library. I hear they have books there and stuff.
Shall we meet back here? What time? Noon? I'll let you know what I find out.
Don't let us down, Samantha.
Bye, Sam.
Bye, Charles.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Have they not suffered enough?
Damn. You need a student ID to use the library. Whatever happened to freedom of information?
Oh yeah, I noted down to talk about, not now, but to talk about the whole thing where imagining that you're doing activity gives you some of the benefits of actually doing the activity, and it's very good for disabled people.
Helena! Helena!
What are you doing? Why don't you come inside?
Can I borrow your ID?
I left my ID in my room. Can I swipe yours?
No, you'll get me expelled, goth girl. Besides, walking is good exercise.
Borrow ID!
Come on! Just one swipe. I'll do it so no one can see.
No, I had to go twice to get a decent picture on my ID. I'm not going to risk getting it confiscated.
How did you redo your ID?
You can do that? Get your ID redone?
I told them I lost it. What can they say? I had no choice. The picture was hideous.
Why
I didn't
here?
expect to find you in the library. How hard can art history be?
Hard enough. But if you want to know why I'm here, Charles Ettington.
Well, good luck with the stalking.
Let me see the picture.
That bad, huh? Hard to believe. Do you still have the old ID? Let me see.
It's awful.
Let me see.
The second one is much better. Don't you agree?
Alright, so we pick. We're very mean. You look like you're on drugs. Can you put a paper bag over that picture? You should charge that photographer
God,
with a libel.
I didn't think it was that hideous. I'll burn it when I get back to my room.
You look like a top model on this one. That's so much better.
Well, I think the new one is much better.
Click on Helena again to perform the destroyed and restore the ring chip.
I like that one, but it doesn't really make sense in this case.
I know, that's not what I meant to click. No, why are you over there? Come back. That's the one.
I could use that trick, but I need to place something in the environment first.
Noisemaker.
There.
It's so convenient that we specifically had the exact noise that we
It's
needed.
a paper shredder.
Then just perform the thing. Cool. Palm the noisemaker remote in the left hand. Take Helena's old card in the right hand. Manipulate Helena's old ID card in the right hand. Misdirect. Manipulate the noisemaker. Vanish. Would a paper shredder destroy a laminated card?
Helena! Helena! Hey,
What?
Depends how powerful it is, I suppose.
I actually like the first photo better. It's the way you were sitting.
You're hallucinating. Show me.
No, it was a trick at the light. The first one really is awful. God. Ooh. You're right. You should burn it. In fact...
Why did you do that?
You said you were gonna burn it. I'm sorry. Did you want it?
So kind of you to spare me all that tedious labor. God, you're a freak. And I thought I was bad.
Okay, are we done here? Oh no, we need to go in. Okay. Sorry, Helena.
Hi.
How may I be of service?
Oxford professors.
Where can I find information about the professors here at Oxford?
Ah, that depends. To whom do you refer?
Dr. David Stiles, neurobiology.
Start with the library catalogue. You can access it on the computers over there.
God, she sounds so like so stuck up. The computer terminals. Oh my god, I found them first time straight away. Oh god, we're still gonna read everything. Royalty and other distinguished gentlemen. The big event on this... Oh my god. No, we're not going to read it, clearly. The big event of this past weekend was the Egerton Soiree, an annual event not to be missed by the rich and fabulous. The star of the evening was to be Prince Charles, who arrived at the party solo. He seemed to be quite enjoying his newly divorced status. But in truth, all of the single dames were not lining up to meet the Prince of Wales. But the Prince of Oxford, Dr. David Stiles. No, I don't think I understand how reading works. As if being devastatingly handsome and the scion of a wealthy family weren't enough, he's a shooting star at university. He's become a well-known figure thanks to the popular articles and TV appearances, doing for neurobiology what Stephen Hawking did for physics. This reporter can't help but wonder how he'll find time to fit in his lectures with all the party invitations he's been receiving. I will. It is so accurate that there would be this big event, and even like royalty would be there, but everyone would instead be fawning over this one Oxford professor. That's so British. Like, one of the most British things is you'll find that we really don't give a shit about the royal family. We don't care as much as people really want us to. We don't give a shit. And like if one's just there, whatever. Cool Oxford professor though. That's interesting. Spring is for lovers. Romance is a hot topic in the spring. All creatures, great and small, get that loving look in their eyes and pair off to do what comes naturally. Frederica Fremon, I assume, and Jeremy Staten were seen canoodling over drinks at a posh London nightclub. Actress Marie Laurel and businessman Dominic Durst were outed when they were caught red-handed in Hyde Park, which miraculously they were able to find just round the next corner. But the biggest it couple this spring has to be Dr. David Stiles, the Oxford neurobiologist who has been considered the bachelor of the season, and his new flame, Laura Edmundthorpe, the beautiful daughter of Lord Edmundthorpe. The pair have been inseparable since meeting at a New Year's Eve celebration, and they don't seem to care who knows it. Ah, young love. Oh yeah, this was nothing, by the way. Extraordinary powers of ordinary minds is not available. God, that's so interesting. Styles. Hopkins tops in student poll. This year's Oxstu Students' Choice Poll ranked Christchurch and Queen's as the favourite colleges among Oxford students. Her favourite local restaurant went to Stewpot on St Giles. Fitzgerald's won for best Oxford pub, smoking the nearest competitor by 10-1. Among professors, Felix Hopkins, who teaches medieval history at Queen's, and David Stiles of the Radcliffe Neurobiology Department drew this year's top honours. A favourite part of Hopkins Crusades lectures is a battle. Hopkins Crusades lectures. His name is not Hopkins Crusades. A favourite part of the Crusade lectures that are done by Hopkins is a battle reenactment in Christchurch Meadows, which has become a great hurrah for participants and spectators alike. Styles is a fave thanks to his fresh and exciting approach to the study of the mind and human potential. Eek.
Dr. David Stiles and his wife Laura Edmundthorpe Stiles left a fundraising dinner in Oxford last evening and were driving home when their car was hit broadside. According to eyewitnesses, the second vehicle was hurtling down a crossroad at a tremendous speed. It ran a give way sign and plunged into... Laura Stiles was pronounced dead on the scene, and David Stiles was rushed.
This is really awkward when there's no no music.
Samantha, please. They're not coming home.
Come on, kid, time to go. Come on, kid, time to go. Come on, kid, time to go. Come on, kid, time to go.
That did feel really awkward, to be honest. Okay, they were making noises about maybe coming back to games a year ago. Interesting. I have no the idea of this ever getting a sequel is just not even on my hopeful radar anymore, but I would absolutely be up for trying more of their games, because this is fun. Yeah, I don't know how to read out loud anymore. Sounds like feral cat protective instincts activated. That's so her. It's just a protective feral cat. Dr. David Stiles and his wife Laura Edmund Thorpe Stiles left a fundraising dinner in Oxford last evening and were driving home when their Bentley was hit broadside at a junction. According to eyewitnesses, the second vehicle was hurtling down the road at tremendous speed. It plunged into the Stiles' vehicle as it was going through the junction. So it was 100% just aiming at them. Like that was she said I was gonna die no matter what day they went. David Stiles, who was at the wheel, was thrown from the car on impact. Laura Stiles was trapped in her seat as the car was consumed in flames. Laura Stiles was pronounced dead on the scene and David Stiles was rushed to the accident and emergency facility at John Radcliffe Hospital, where he was reported to be in stable condition. Do we ever hear what happened to the alleged driver of the one that hit the car that hit them? Do we actually hear anything about that car? The other driver was killed instantly. I thought that was the case. I couldn't remember if certain or not.
Hi.
How may I be of service?
There's an article I need from a magazine. The computer said to ask you.
Name of publication and the date, please.
Scientific American, May 1997.
I apologize. We had 2 copies of that issue, but both are listed as missing.
Missing? How does that happen?
They might have been misfiled. They might have been stolen. In any case, I can't help you. You might try the Central Library in London.
How convenient.
David is ultimately too proper to have a go, but his American assistant will go for your eyes. That's that exactly what happened was that when she was at the Black Wand or whatever it was called, and he starts going about how the punishment for talking about the Daedalus Club people is to get your eyes gouged out, and she's like, sounds like a good idea. Challenge accepted. We are going home now? Are we going home? We are going home. We are not done at the library yet, but we are going home.
Dreadhill House, this is Sam speaking. Oh, no, that's okay. You don't need to send anyone else over. Dr. Stiles no longer needs an assistant. I mean, he's already hired someone else. No, not a student. It turned out a family member was available. A niece. So you can just close out that request. Yes, I am sure. All right? Thank you. I am so going to get busted. Mrs. Dalton might have answered that. God, I really should fess up. I can't. They'd hit the eject button in 10 seconds flat. Better give it some more time and show what I can do.
They probably would have just assumed it was a mistake. Place the flowers in Sam's room next to the photo of her parents. That's so the conversation that would happen on the boat. Like, all that time later. All of this has happened, and then just God knows how long later, they're on the boat on the way to the Orkney Islands, and she's like, oh, by the way, I'm your niece. Like, if anyone asks.
I have just the place for these.
You do. Let me place them. God, I so wish that had been brought up, actually. I so wish we'd have had a conversation. I want one person to see them both out and go, oh, how nice it is of you to be spending this time with your niece. That's how he finds out. I know you said not to talk about the accident, but we're going to talk about the accident. You know this thing I'm not supposed to talk about? Let's gossip about it. The accident!
I just found out what happened to Laura.
Everyone knows about the tragedy.
Well, I'm new to Oxford, and I didn't know. I'm really sorry.
You didn't ask him, did you? I hope to heaven, Samantha, that you weren't asking him painful questions.
No.
Well, don't. Poor man doesn't need to be reminded. Not that he isn't every day of his blinking life. But he can't stand people talking about it. That's why he won't let anyone come over here.
But this house is full of reminders. Laura's pictures are everywhere. Even that calendar is still set to 2002.
He won't let me change any of it.
I get it. He wants to be reminded of her, for his own self. But he can't bear to hear other people talk about it, because there's no way they can possibly understand. And anything they say just seems idiotic.
Maybe that's right, I don't know.
She
In
so
any case,
understands.
I thank you to avoid the subject with him completely. Doesn't he have enough troubles on his mind already?
Ugh. I'm not sad, you're sad. So, okay, we go and put the flowers next to Laura's photo now. I adore that moment on the phone. Where it's like, I'm really pissed off with Sam, tell me everything. Also, how dare you tell me everything? It's such a cute dynamic. I love them. There's even while he was like really mad at her, understandably so, and felt betrayed and everything, he was still like, don't you dare give people sensitive information like this. He's so protective even when she's not his favourite person right now. Also protective of each other in their own very specific ways. They're very cute. Miss Everett, as mentioned, I need you to sort my files. That was the reason for your employment. Instructions are as follows. I am going to do a wonderful job at organising your files, and I'm not going to put them away and then just take them again. I'm not going to steal anything. This is not a point-and-click game. In general, file a folder by the first letter on the tab, except if it's a publication of mine, file under P for publications. If it concerns Oxford, file under O. I don't expect you to finish today, but do begin, if that isn't straining you too awfully. I love him. Dear Dr. Stiles, we are in desperate need of the contractor's report for the equipment you donated to the FMRIB Centre at John Radcliffe Hospital in 2002. Breathe. This is the 5th notice we have sent you in the past 2 months. Please send the receipt to me by Friday at the latest, as it is required by our auditors. Desperately, Susan Whittier. And then put this here.
There.
I wish you'd have mentioned it.
The flowers are silly, I guess, but it makes me feel better.
I get that this is an extra thing to do, but I just wish there'd have been like a line about it. Okay, filing cabinet over here. We are gonna read everything, and I am gonna note down what I need to talk about in the edited video of this.
I
We've
want to
read
sort
this
those
already.
files before Dr. Charm gets up. Straining me too awfully. My ass.
That's hilarious. Sam is a feral angry street cat, David's a greyhound. You're so right. Organic life. Science. How not to work. Hello? My way or the highway. To be or not to be. We had in school, did you ever have a safety booklet that you had to fill out like creatively? We're talking like primary school, elementary school age. We had this booklet about road safety and stuff, and we had to do all these exercises, and I think I still have it somewhere. I don't know where. I'm gonna have to find it. I think they didn't like my submission because, for example, one was that you had to draw a fox. I think it was a fox. The instructions. I remember this, and it's so. I know it's weird of me to remember things in this much detail, but it was so significant because the instruction was. Draw a fox that you can't see because it's dark. So I didn't draw anything because you can't see it because it's dark. So I kind of just I coloured it in just all completely black, and that was it. And that was my submission because like you told me to draw something that they can't see because it's dark. You can't see it how. So I don't know if they were impressed. Another one was draw the boy. Polar bear blinking in a snowstorm, exactly. The other was to draw the boy who didn't stop, look and listen. so this is horrible. It's horrible of me, but you have to bear in mind, I was like, we weren't even double digits yet. This was like, God, how old would I have been? Like 8 or 9? So I drew an arm underneath a tyre, underneath a car tyre, with like a puddle of blood under it. And yeah, they didn't like it. I know you have no faith in me at all. But the reason I remembered was Yellow Light. We had to write a song about bright yellow jackets. So my lyrics were bright yellow jackets, they're yellow and bright. Bright little jackets, you can see them at night. Bright yellow jackets, they reflect the car light. Bright yellow jackets, they stop you getting dead, yeah. And that was one of the most fun I've ever had with an assignment at all, but genuinely, I hope I can find it, because that one thing of the arm, that is the best thing I've ever drawn in my life. And yeah, I was, I was that kind of child. Lobotomy. Moving swiftly on.
That was fast.
It
And
felt
now I can
fast.
snoop. What fun.
Now I can steal the files back.
Nothing exciting in here. Patient case files.
It was a terrible instruction. It's not my fault. Draw the boy who didn't stop, look and listen. I only did what you told me to do.
Nothing exciting in here. Patient case files. This should be enlightening.
Extraordinary powers of ordinary minds. We've all heard the news that we only use 1/10 the capacity of our brain, which is not true. But why is that the case, and what intriguing possibilities lay in those dormant sections of grey matter? There are billions of neural connections in the brain. When an infant is born, their neurons are still sending out test flares to other neurons and gauging the response. Our brains prune connections that aren't productive and strengthen connections that are. The early years in which we experience our world sets our neural I am reading so well. Neural wiring for life. There are entire networks of potential connections that are unused because, in our infant life, we did not find a need for them. We find proof in a few extraordinary cases, such as the boy who was blind from birth and developed a bat-like ability to sense objects. He could ride his bike at terrific speeds despite the lack of sight. Our species continues to evolve new mental capabilities. Scholars believe that the ancient Greeks did not see as many colours as we do today. We talked about that in the last one, didn't we? How that is like absolutely 100% a thing that people think because there weren't as many names for colours. It's all those foxes you couldn't see. Exactly. An early Christian historian commented on how brilliant St. Augustine was because when he read to himself, he couldn't see his lips move. Let me note down ancient Greek, because I know that's the case. Oh my god. That's what Sacha Dhawan did! That's what he did! That's what he did! Fields outside neurobiology give us clues to the potential of the brain. Physics has shown that our brain has a special relationship with the world of matter. When we are not perceiving a subatomic particle, it is a wave, but when the human brain turns attention on it, the particle changes form, behaving like solid matter. In the areas of psi research, scientists have demonstrated that the brain is capable of abilities that have no explanation, according to the currently understood picture of the brain or even that of time and space. This is a disaster reading. In the next 50 years, we will begin to discover just how extraordinary our minds might be, how deeply interconnected our brains are to physical reality and vice versa, and how we can awaken new potential within the mind. One moment. This is Sparta, but it's definitely not reading. I don't know what it is that I'm doing.
Dr. Stiles writes well, but I don't believe in psi powers or the paranormal or any of that stuff.
At what, we are an hour and 3 minutes. Let me note an hour and 3 minutes, because I'm going to need this wonderfully explained section in video. One hour. I just said it. What did I just say? 3 minutes. I mean, at this point, it may as well just be an hour. Okay. Great. Wonderful. Brilliant. Moving on. E-science.
Nothing exciting in here.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
The neurobiology department is looking for a report on an fMRI donation. I should get this to Susan Whittier.
I read perfectly well. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing exciting in here. Nothing exciting in here. Something written by Dr. Abraham Linkweller. This might be interesting.
It's not. Oh, he's such a... He's such a dick. Some of my misguided colleagues have claimed that the human brain will develop extraordinary abilities in the future, going as far as to insist it will happen in the next 50 years. This is the worst kind of pseudoscience and magical thinking. The truth is, there is no evidence that our brains have undergone any serious evolution since we hunted with bow and arrow and drug our kill back to the cave. I feel like that's not true. And I could be wrong because that's not my field of research, but I feel like that's not... I feel like that's not correct. One moment. But I am more than happy to be proven wrong, and I will find out. He can't spell anymore. No, exactly. We're both as bad as each other. The drive for shelter, food, sex, and security are as fundamental to our society as they ever were. And we solve problems in the same way, not by developing supernatural powers, but by good old-fashioned oh. Okay. I don't know. Cognition. What he said. When our modern world made swift travel over long distances desirable, did we evolve the ability to fly? No, we used the same mental thought processes that invented the wheel to invent the aeroplane. The scientific reality is that the brain is well understood. It doesn't have any extraordinary powers and doesn't need any. The ordinary brain is miraculous enough. I am going to need you to bear with me for 1 second. Because I swear to God, at the very least, the size is different. Oh, University of Oxford! How fitting is that? Study shows brains grew faster as humans evolved. New research led by Dr. Thomas Puschel. I can't remember how an umlaut is pronounced. Oh my god. Overturns long-standing ideas about human brain evolutions. That's hilarious. That's very funny. Big evolutionary changes don't always need dramatic events. They can happen through small, gradual improvements over time, much like how we learn and adapt today. God, I know I'm speaking. I'm speaking as if this is a genuine Oxford professor that I need to disprove, but like,
Wow.
That's exactly
This looks like a
100%
very
how it
pointed
feels
attack
right
on
now.
Styles' Scientific American article. That had to hurt.
What hurt the most was
Wow.
the spelling of airplane. Other questions of the universe. Why is Kaya? What did Sasha Dewan do wrong? What's that ever remember how to read? I can answer exactly one of those 3 questions for you right now. And umlaut is just a colon that got drunk and fell over. That's hilarious.
This lists everyone. It's
Okay,
an old
thank you. Is that everything?
Nothing.
Nice
Nothing
brains, said the zombie. Is that everything? Okay, head to... Now we've stolen these files. we did the filing and then we undid different filing. We go to visit the fake Oxford professor who we are going to disprove with another real life Oxford professor. That's so funny. That's so fitting. He could have been anywhere in the world. That's amazing. Go into the door on the left furthest from the bottom screen. That's Susan's office. You know what? This is a point and click game. I can 100% believe we have a miniature copier in our pockets.
I'm Samantha Everett. I'm working with Dr. Stiles.
Are you? You're not in the department?
No, I'm studying English Lit.
Well, that's Dr. Stiles' business. When you see him, remind him that I need that equipment receipt. Today.
The whole debacle of getting this, that was just for fun. That was just practicing. What are these noises? Okay. Talk to... Oh yeah, I can give you the receipt, can't I?
I have something for you.
Oh my God. I gave up hope of ever laying eyes on this. The auditor's been hounding me for weeks.
Did you break chat? Did you? Oh God, I think you broke chat. Why did you break chat? Don't break chat. Why aren't you moving? You're moving in real life. Oh. Are we good? Are we fine now? Did that... Are we fine? I think we're fine.
Thank you, Miss Everett.
I think it's moving. Is it moving?
My pleasure.
Yeah, that was entirely Sasha Dewan's fault. Oh God, we're never gonna let that go. Did I give you the file already?
I've only started to work for Dr. Stiles. I was hoping to find out more about him.
Well, it's not my place to talk about Dr. Stiles. I can tell you that Mr. Headley, he's the dean of the department, he was quite an admirer of Dr. Stiles. Naturally, we were all deeply saddened by what happened.
Mr. Headley.
Would it be possible for me to see Mr. Headley?
I'm afraid not. He's very busy today. Wait, I do appreciate your bringing that receipt. Let me see if he's got a moment. Mr. Headley, I have a Miss Everett that would like a brief word. It's about David Stiles.
Send her in.
In you go.
Miss Everett, a pleasure to meet you. Won't you sit down?
Thanks. And thanks for seeing me.
I'm always happy to make time for David. I've heard from him too little of late. How is he?
Fine. Very self-directed.
Well, that's something. Are you a relative?
Niece.
No.
Niece.
I'm his
Niece.
assistant.
I'm
He
his
just hired
niece.
me.
Did he? Interesting. How can I be of service, Miss Everett?
At least tell people the same lie. Don't turn off in 5 minutes. Experiment.
Are you aware that Dr. Stiles is conducting an experiment right now?
Of course. He had to submit a plan to the university. Standard procedure. Frankly, I was happy to see him working again.
More of the experiment.
That reminds me. Dr. Stiles wanted me to pick up a copy of the experiment plan he submitted. He misplaced his copy.
I think, young lady, that Dr. Styles will have to call me and ask for that himself.
I'll tell him. Could you
Background.
give me some background on Dr. Styles? I don't know much about him.
David Styles was one of the brightest lights at Oxford. A truly brilliant and original thinker. He was the sort of man it was easy to envy. Wealth, a prestigious family name, good looks, a beautiful wife, effortless public success. Then there was the accident. A horrific, horrific thing. There's a poem by Robert Frost. Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaps a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes down to day. Nothing gold can stay.
That's beautiful. I wonder... Never mind.
We must be honest with each other, you and I, for David's sake. What do you wonder?
It's silly. I just wondered which is worse. To have been golden, to have had all that and lost it, or never to have had it at all.
Not at all. Perhaps David asks himself the same question.
Rumours on
I've heard
campus.
rumors about Dr. Styles. Students say people have disappeared during his experiments, and...
Stop. Don't repeat that nonsense in here, please.
Sorry.
No, it's only natural you would be concerned. He is your employer. There has been a lot of vicious gossip about David, but believe me, there's no truth in it.
Then how did it get started?
When someone is a little too successful, it inspires a lot of green-eyed spite. Should that paragon fall, let's just say there are certain people who love nothing more than to get out their knives and gather round the carcass. Of course, David hasn't helped himself any. If he insists on living like a hermit in that house, people are bound to believe the worst.
His enemies. I'm trying to light an incense and it's not working, by the way.
You mentioned that certain people were jealous of Dr. Styles and might have spread the rumors. I don't suppose you'd tell me who. It might be good for me to know in case I run into them.
No, I don't think we need to discuss that.
Okay.
Is Styles dangerous? And you'll never guess who it is I'm blaming for my incense not working.
So you're convinced that Dr. Styles poses no danger? No danger to, say, students who are participating in one of his experiments?
Absolutely not. He may be on leave, but he's still a valued member of this department. I've reviewed his case personally. There's nothing physically wrong with David Styles. It's been a pleasure, Miss Everett, but I really must get back to work.
Thanks, Mr. Headley. You've been a big help.
I only wish the best for David. I hope you'll treat him well and be a support. He allows so few people near him.
I'll do my best.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I know, I don't get on well with incense, do I?
I want to find out who David's enemies are inside the neurobiology department. I should snoop around in David's files.
That reminds me, oh my god, the worst thing happened to me recently. The absolute worst thing. I am out of candles. I have no more candles and I don't know what to do with myself. I have no candles. The incense does not like me.
I guess not everyone in the department is a fan of Dr. Styles. At least, that's what Mr. Headley says. Is there anyone in particular I should watch out for?
Mr. Headley doesn't tolerate departmental gossip. And neither do I.
Ah.
When she says she'll do her best, what she means is she's gonna end up with somebody's eye.
Dr. Styles asked me to get a copy of his experiment plan. The one he filed with the department, he misplaced his copy.
I'm afraid Dr. Styles will have to come by himself for something like that. Or telephone. We don't give those kind of documents out to students.
But... I'll tell him. Oh, Mr. Headley asked if you would bring him a cup of coffee.
Did he? That's odd. Mr. Headley gets his own coffee.
But she still believes us.
Damn, she took the key. I need to find a way to snatch it somehow.
Was there no weird thing of him saying, I absolutely do not ask you to get me a coffee? Okay, how do we perform the trick?
She keeps the key to the filing cabinet. This will require...
And what's Headley after? Okay. Okay, but how do we do the trick, though? Oh, just grab the magnet. And now can I do it? I can't. How? Okay. Just click the magnet.
This magnet is just the right size for palming.
Okay, so can I use it now? No, excuse me? When Susan has returned, we can perform a trick on her to get the experiment plan. Use the bottomless cup trick. But how do I select the bottomless cup trick? Can we just grab it? No, this doesn't do anything.
Styles' experiment plan is probably in that filing cabinet. It would answer a lot of questions if I could get my hands on it.
I understand that.
She keeps the key to the filing cabinet, and this will...
I know. Oh, okay. Alright, easy. There. Bottomless cup. So we palm in our right hand. I don't know why the hands matter, but they do. Coffee cup in left hand. Move the coffee cup to the right hand. Manipulate. Misdirect. Take the cabinet key in the left hand. And vanish.
Hey, that key is missing.
What?
Yeah, see?
What on earth? You didn't take it, did you?
Me? Why would I want it? You have a spare, I hope.
At my flat.
That sucks.
It even blows.
Double trick. And this is the thumb one. Wherever you may be. That one.
I can get Susan out of the room with this trick, but I'll need to get set up for it first.
Combine the thumb. Do I need to go outside for this? I can't do it right here, can I?
I should do the blood before the spirit gum, or it'll get messy.
I'm
Good.
not just doing this
now I
in
just need
front
something
of
to hold it
her.
in place. Now it's ready to go.
I just set up the trick right in front of her.
I don't need to talk to Mr. Headley again.
Oh, wait, no. We go here. The first aid kit. You are not sending me a candle, by the way. The staff kitchen.
If she finds this, she might return to her office too soon.
Department of Redundancy Department.
I think this first aid kit needs to disappear. Abracadabra! Wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah, that candle was lovely, but that was way too much money to spend on sending a candle. And you were very nice, and I really appreciated it, and it was a really lovely candle, but that's extortionate. Is that it? Back to Susan's office?
I only need to...
Take the letter opener in the left hand. Manipulate. Misdirect. Manipulate. It's
Ouch.
tradition.
What happened?
I know you
I cut
are
myself.
such an enabler.
Do you have disinfectant or something?
I'll get the first aid kit.
You know, I would even argue that $17 is way too much to spend on sending a package. Shit, what now? Oh, the filing cabinet.
Found it. If Susan finds this missing, she'll know I took it. I should fix that if I have time.
Yes, copy it, quick. With the little photocopier that you totally have. I wasn't doing anything.
I apologize for the delay. You'd think grown students would be above silly pranks.
Really?
All right then, let me see it.
You mean, touch it? Oh God, sorry. I'm such a baby about stuff like this.
For heaven's sake, it has to be dealt with.
I'll do it. It'll be better that way, trust me. Is that a first aid kit? I'll take it to the bathroom and do it myself. Thank you so much.
As you like. Just don't drip blood in the hall, please.
She's so somebody I would encounter in school.
Hey, excuse me. Hello? Hi. You're Malik, right? You're in Dr. Stiles' experiment.
Look who it is. Look who it is.
What do you
Hi.
want?
I
What's the
totally
big
trust you, by the
secret?
way.
Nothing. I don't like everyone knowing my business.
I just wanted to talk for a minute about Dr. Stiles.
All right? But I have class in 10 minutes, so it will have to be fast.
What did you do?
What made you sign up for the experiment?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, what made you sign up for the experiment?
It's not a crime. I could use the money.
Unless... Oh, what am I doing?
Since you're in the neurobiology department, you must have known Dr. Stiles before the experiment.
Known of him, yes.
You heard about him from people in the department?
Do you have any idea who Stiles is? He is, or was, one of the most famous neurobiologists in the history of the field. I studied him in high school. So yes, I guess I know something about him. Or at least I know the man he used to be, when he was a part of this department.
Styles in the department.
Dr. Styles is still a part of the department, isn't he? He had to submit an experiment plan to Mr. Headley.
Or maybe technically. But
Do
everyone knows
try
he
again.
suffered brain damage in the accident and is no longer competent.
Believe me, he's in possession of all his wits. In fact, he has a few I'd like to extract myself.
Then why has he stopped teaching? Why has he not published since the accident?
He lost his wife?
So? A wife is a wife.
Stop, please. Your compassion is making me all teary-eyed.
Death is a part of life.
Maybe he couldn't face everyone feeling sorry for him all the time and asking about the accident over and over, and then expecting him to have completely forgotten about it in 3 months, and calling him crazy if he hasn't.
Styles ordered to the world, to his students, to continue his work.
Says who?
Think what you like.
The experiment.
What did you think of the experiment last night?
Strange. And surprising.
Tell me more than that.
Last night was strange, wasn't it? What's the point of imagining exercising?
That wasn't strange. Research has shown that imagining exercising causes the brain to generate the same impulses to the muscles and the nervous system as actually exercising, providing almost the same health benefits. It's big news for healthcare, especially for disabled people. There are a lot of studies being done on the subject right now.
There absolutely are. More about the experiment, please.
So, what was strange about the experiment?
I need to get to class.
Come on, you said strange. Why?
Just to finally meet Dr. Styles. And that mask. That basement.
It is rather dramatic.
But the strangest thing was that, despite all of that, I... Never mind.
What?
He seemed normal. I was expecting... I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Or more about the experiment, I guess.
Did you notice anything unusual about Styles' equipment?
No?
Nothing at all?
It was a standard fMRI setup. A good one. It's unusual to have a system that expensive in a private home, but otherwise, it's non-invasive. Harmless, as he said. I'm late for class. I have to go.
Hey, we're meeting at the St. Edmund Quad at noon. Stop by, or not.
How very suspicious. I don't know who that guy is, but I bet he did something. Head home, down into the lab again. Into the lab. It is ridiculously late for you to be here. Yeah, go to bed. A wild Andy has appeared. It's 7 AM. What time is... Oh my god, it's almost... It's late for me then. Never mind, I take it back. Still go to bed, though. Actually, we need to fill you in on the drama that's happening right now. Draw C. I audibly gasp when you appear. Also, yeah, do you know what Sacha Dhawan did wrong? Because he did something wrong, apparently. We don't know. We don't know what he did wrong. But according to YouTube, he did something. We can't type. So the context is that Sacha Dhawan is a voice actor in this, and I didn't trust his character at first because he's Sacha Dhawan. We can't trust characters that he plays anymore. So afterwards, we were talking about how I didn't trust basically anybody in this aside from the person that we actually weren't supposed to trust. And Fire tried to say, poor Sacha Dhawan, he did nothing wrong. But every time either of us types this, YouTube, the chat won't say it. Andy, you try it. Try typing. I am notoriously untrustworthy, that's true. Try typing, poor Sacha Dhawan did nothing, he did nothing wrong. Chat won't, I'll do it now, it won't work. Poor Sacha Dhawan, he did nothing wrong. Let me know if that shows. Andy did it! Poor Sacha Dhawan, he did nothing wrong. Does it work if you just say, poor Sacha Dhawan, he did... No, because I did it without... No, I didn't do it without the comma. Let me try it without the comma. Nothing wrong. Poor Sacha Dhawan, that's fine. We've tried all of the different combinations. It's specifically, poor Sacha Dhawan, comma, he did nothing wrong. No comma doesn't work. That specific combination of words. Try that specific combination of words. Let us know if you did it. No, it didn't show. We can't see. If you just said it, it didn't work. If you see on the video, the chat on the video, it won't come up. But we tried it with different names. We tried inserting different names. Yeah, you'd better have gone to sleep when you said you were going to sleep. You know, that doesn't answer the question, Andy. You easily could have stayed up all night and then still done the morning prayers. I have no faith in you. Right, anyway. Go back to bed.
Interesting. This is signed by a bunch of people in the neurobiology department. I should see if I can find a personnel list to compare it with.
We're filing.
It's an old phone.
We're filing things.
It's an old phone list.
We're stealing files is what we're doing.
I'm kind of curious to see who signed it. And who didn't.
We're doing thievery. Exactly. And now I have to read names again. It's Linkweller who didn't do it.
Abram Linkweller must be the enemy in the department.
The fake Oxford professor. He's not real. He's not real, he can't hurt us. Head to Oxford Town Centre. I can't help but feel that you're still here, by the way. No, of course it's not legal. You can steal entire ladders to break into museums in point-and-click games. Also, when have you ever known me to be encouraging? Oh, the Windy Dog. We go to the pub. You have to leave now. We're going to a pub. Yeah, you're 21, you're also a Muslim, or did you forget? You can't have drinks! We can sit on dodo eggs. Oh my god, that's right. I completely forgot about that.
Hi, my name's Sam. Can I bother you for a minute?
I doubt that you could bother me, a nice-looking girl like you. But I'm all ears if you want to try.
I thought you were going back to bed anyway.
Do you know the Daedalus Club? Is this pub in one of their riddles?
Daedalus Club? I couldn't tell you a thing about that, lass.
'Cause we came from America.
Can you tell me about the pub? Curious name, the Windy Dog.
Well, you see, it was named after the digestive problems of the original owner's pet.
Ha ha.
No, I'm just joshing you. It was named for a ship, you know. The founder was a retired sea captain.
Thank you, bye. Thanks for coming, I think. What am I doing? Mouthpiece.
That's a curious piece. It's not every day you see a wishing horn.
Bye.
It's all right, love. Just a bit of fun, eh?
Barrel of laughs.
I know, that's so gross.
I don't know a lot about horns, but that doesn't look right. I think there's a piece missing.
are you gonna give us the piece or yeah. I got completely distracted. Sorry, give me the
Cute
piece.
gimmick with that horn. Do many tourists fall for it?
Do you mean the wishing horn? 'Tisn't a gimmick. The horn was on the captain's boat. It was blown at any sign of danger. See, the captain still haunts this place. And if you blow the horn, his spirit will come to you. And if you speak your wish, he might just grant it.
Like I said, cute. Not very sanitary, though.
Not a bit of it. I soaked the mouthpiece in 100 proof all day. Cleanest damned spot in all of England.
You're worried about the hygiene of the mouthpiece, but not the thing that you just put your mouth around, that so many other people have definitely put their mouths around.
Is there something missing from the horn, like a mouthpiece?
I told you I soaked it in 100 proof all day, didn't I?
I don't trust this guy in
Who you
particular,
be?
by the way.
Gee, thanks.
This guy, this patron, I don't trust him.
They don't look like the Daedalus Club type.
It's very clear why I don't trust this guy. We all know what cult he belongs to, with his flat cap.
Told you she wasn't stupid.
That a girl. The captain was sure to hear that. Go on.
I want a piece of gold.
Piece of gold? What the hell is that? If it's money you want, ask for £100. Crikey.
Whatever happened to love? That's what I'd like to know. Thought you looked the type. There's your piece of gold, and a little something extra.
Thanks.
My pleasure. Good luck.
The trial of Archbishop Cranmer, Christchurch
The
Cathedral.
postcard says the trial of Archbishop Cranmer, Christchurch Cathedral.
That depends entirely on what you're trying to spell.
I just need one more piece of gold.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go to Christchurch again. Christchurch. This time enter the cathedral here.
I guess a church could be a place where souls choose their fate.
Oh, it's you, Irish guy.
And so the cathedral was... Yes, may I help you? You're a little early for the guided tour, but if I can be of assistance...
Oh no, I'm not really visiting for now. I'm not with a guided tour anyway.
Really? Maybe you could help me then. Ask me some questions about the cathedral, like you're a tourist.
Well, I guess I can.
Angel window.
And what can you tell me about these stained glass windows?
There are many stained glass windows in the cathedral, and we have one of the few specimens of flaming heart angels in Western England, just right here.
Yes, you're spelling it perfectly.
Anything else special about the cathedral?
The cathedral was the smallest in the United Kingdom until 1905, when the previous parish churches became cathedrals on their own. Birmingham took the title then, and nowadays it's Derby Cathedral.
Yay, Derby. I hate Derby.
So what about this altar over there?
It's almost as old as the cathedral itself, and it features a triptych where some say Judas the Betrayer appears. It is rather unlikely, but this theory is based upon the fact that this character has a small purse attached to his belt.
Mm-hmm. Old cathedral.
How old is the cathedral?
Henry VIII officially opened it in 1546 under the name of Ecclesia Christi Cathedralis Oxoniensis.
So I guess you've done pretty well.
Really? Oh, thank you, miss.
Yes, that's it. Well done. Where are we going? The altar. I'm so glad this chapter is almost done. I'm going to bed after.
I wonder what this does. I did not expect that. It's another piece of the ideogram.
The night episode of the TV show be followed by people in caps going, "Berry!" Yeah, not people, just you.
And that's it. Now if I can just solve this rebus, I should be able to finish the game.
And I'm very confident that I can solve this again all by myself. Oh yeah, Carfax, tower, phone. You. Oh, Capitano! You are, though. You are the Capitano. Okay, 5, 8, 3, 2, 7.
Congratulations on mastering the game. Here is your reward.
Thank you very much. I think. What did I get?
Wow, this is amazing. I solved my first Daedalus Club riddle. How cool is that?
Very much so. Exit the booth. And now what? It's still giving me things to do at the library. But I don't know what else to do at the library. It says take the coin and exit the booth to end the chapter. Is there more stuff that I was supposed to do in the library? No, just ask about the missing article and then go home? What am I missing? I'm just gonna click everything. Also, yeah, what if that was just somebody's number.
I can't do that from over here.
Okay. Can I talk more to you, I guess?
I don't have anything to...
No.
Stacks of blank paper.
Back to the... Did I read everything? Yep.
That's the article I got from David's filing cabinet.
Is that all I had to do? That was all I had to do. Okay.
The head lab rat has arrived.
You call us rats one more time and I'll castrate you.
Lambs.
What?
We're lambs, not rats.
The Lambs Club.
What's that supposed to mean?
I like it.
It's better than rats. Brilliant, darling.
Oh, fine, the Lambs Club. But what about Styles? What about the mad scientist who's sucking our brains dry?
He's doing no such thing.
Yeah, well, he's weird enough to do it.
Come on, Harvey. He's not your punchline. People are always afraid of what they don't understand. Are you so perfect and popular that you can point the finger of weirdness at David Styles? Are any of you? The man has been through hell. His wife was killed right in front of him in an accident. He himself was badly burned. And he must have gone through God knows how many skin grafts. But he's not mentally damaged. Or even weird. I heard it myself from an expert who's seen Dr. Styles' medical reports. There's nothing wrong with him. He just likes his privacy. And can you blame him when everyone is so vicious? As for me, if I hear one more person pass on that lame gossip, I'm going to personally stuff it back down their throats.
I fully believe you as well.
So you don't believe the gossip, then?
Who told you about Styles' medical reports?
Mr. Headley.
I never believed anything bad about Dr. Styles.
Oh, of course he
The
didn't.
man can do what he likes as far as I'm concerned. My family is legendary for eccentrics. My grandmama liked to get naked on the roof and wave to planes. Well, who doesn't? But what about the track?
I've seen the plan for the experiment myself. It's routine. Even the department head approved it. The prank at the track is completely unrelated. Dr. Styles is perfectly normal.
Sam getting protective of David is what starts.
Hundreds of thousands of children in the
From
US
Angela
are
to be
wards of
still
the
Oh!
state, farmed out to
Oh,
private
ew, wait, no, hang on.
after home.
Ew!
The foster family is paid a stipend, leading some families to take in 2, 3, or even more children. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, and even child labor law infringements.
See, that's really bloody creepy now. It wasn't creepy when I thought it was a ghost. When I thought it was a ghost, I was totally nice. Ugh. Oh, that is really bloody creepy. I don't like that. That was absolutely 100% Angela. Ew. Ew. Okay, well, on that absolutely bloody creepy note, are we I don't want to. I don't want to to stop streaming, but it's late and I should. His chapters didn't feel that long when we played it, but it probably was. Your take is that any physical presence is Angela because we see Laura and she's incorporeal. That's how I was taking it. And that you know, like the more tangible things, kind of, I suppose, because I mean the Rolodex thing is tangible, kind of, but when we see her, like, Angela definitely stole that dress, and so anything of her being blonde in the white dress, that's Angela. That was 100% Angela. It was probably her in the shower and in the mirror and oh, I love how the tone of this has shifted so much. That first it was it's Laura just coming back and everything, and now it's like ew, ew, gross, disgusting. It's more horrifying. It takes a good story to be even more horrifying the second time you go through it while knowing everything. Because she can project and we know she's been in the house and watching the bedroom. Oh, even... It's like, I don't even want to keep David in that room anymore because I know that she can be watching. Oh, it's so gross. It's worse. It's worse now we know the story. Like, this is a proper horror. This is a horror experience now. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, we were yelling at Andy to go to sleep, so I should probably not be a hypocrite and go to bed. But, yeah. Gross. I'm so excited to keep going. I'm having even more fun the second time round. It's great. Is there anything else you want to say for the chat before I end the stream? And leave... Yeah, please Discord me about your imaginary sequel. I need to know. I need to know how you intend to exploit their bloody PTSD like the lovely lovely person that you are. One last try, you're right. Oh, Sasha. The one. He did nothing wrong. Anything? Anything at all? Anyone? Me too! I also added an exclamation mark. Nothing. Come on, chat, update. Update me. Update me, video. No! Oh my god! Well, if nothing else comes of this, I for one am so glad that we discovered this harrowing truth. Oh, clearly he did something wrong, and it's down to us to find out what. That's such a cliffhanger to end on. Join us next time when we find out what Sasha Dewan did. Sasha Dewan, the YouTube has thrown down the gauntlet. You did something. I don't know what it is, but you did it. Right. I'd best... No, we are never... It's like a hook for people to keep coming to the streams, but it's never going to happen. It's going to be one of those lost things. We're never going to find out. Yeah, but we sure as hell will try. Ow. Okay, well, oh, my model just disappeared. That was Sasha Dewan's fault. Okay, I'm going to bed. I'm gonna try after all this excitement. Night night.